Hi and welcome to my beginner's guide on how to draw the proportions of a face. The things you'll need are paper, an HB or B pencil, rubber, ruler and something round, smaller than your paper that you can draw a circle with. First things first, paper can be landscape or portrait. Usually when we're drawing a portrait, we put the paper with the short side up. Once your paper's ready, nearish the top in the middle, you're going to draw a circle. I'm going to draw around this object, but I'm going to make sure that I have enough space around the top and sides of my circle because hair and all that need to still fit. I'm also going to make sure I've got a good section of space at the bottom for the chin, which will come later, and the neck and maybe shoulders. So I'm going to take my pencil and carefully and lightly draw around this circle shape. I'm going to be pressing a little bit harder, otherwise it will be very difficult for you to see what I'm doing. But when you do this, try to press lightly so that these lines are easy to rub off later. Next, we're going to take our ruler and we're going to draw light lines dividing the circle vertically in the middle and horizontally in the middle. I like to use my eye for this, but if you want to be really precise, I suppose you could measure it. But I'm quite happy using my eye. So there's my vertical line in the middle. If you feel that it's just not quite there and you missed it a little bit, that's no problem. Just redo the line where you are more happy with it. There we are, I'm happy with that now. And now the horizontal line going across. This horizontal line will become the eyes. That's where the eyes will be placed. This line here is the hairline, where your forehead meets your hair. And the hair will be around here. But we're not going to do the hair now. I'm also going to use my eye to split this in half again. I'd say it was about there. I'm going to draw a little line there. And I'm also going to split this in half again here. So I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections along this straight line. And I'm going to do the same thing on the horizontal. I'm going to split this bit in half and this bit in half. Now that we've got our circle measured up, I'd like to draw your attention to the extended line under it. So this vertical line here, I've drawn a bit more extending out of this circle because that will enable us to draw the chin area. I'm going to show you how to do that now. We need to measure from this halfway mark to the end of the circle. You can use a ruler, but if you're not that strong on measuring, you can also just take a copy of the measurement using another bit of paper. So I know that the edge of the paper is the top mark and this mark here I've made is the bottom. And I'm going to simply move that down, line the top of the paper up with the bottom of the circle and make my mark. This is going to be the chin. There are 2 more steps before we can put the guiding circle for the chin. The first is we're going to line the ruler up on this halfway mark here. Make sure it's parallel and draw a line. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to make sure that it's parallel to the central line and I'm going to draw a line there. I now am going to create a circle. You can use a compass for this, or you can use a circular object, or you can use your eye. but you basically need a sort of circular shape in here. And it really doesn't have to be perfect, but it's a guiding circle that will help you with the next steps you need to do. Let's go over each section so we're clear of what we've got. We have the chin, the center line of the mouth. The nose will come just below this line. The eyes, this will be the middle of them. And the hairline at the top, with the hair coming out. For me, I like to get the jawline in next, so I feel that I'm looking at a face and not some kind of gas mask. So, what you want to do is go to the end of the circle where it crosses the line and come in just a bit. I'm going to make a little mark there. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Go to the end of the circle where it crosses the line and come in a little bit. We're now going to make a diagonal line like this. Not straight, but slightly at an angle coming in. There's your diagonal line on one side. And as I said before, you can press lighter than I am. I'm having to press quite dark in order for you to see. We've done it on this side, let's do the other side. There we are, we've got two diagonal lines coming in. We're next going to curve gently round and down to the chin. And same with the other side. Later on we can always adapt the shape of the jaw, but this does help to get a bit more of a face shape. The next best thing is to plot in where the eyes begin and end. So here's our central line, and here is the halfway mark between here and the end of the circle. We're going to split that in half. You can do this in another colour very lightly if that helps. I'm just going to draw them slightly longer so that you can tell the difference. So I've split it each side in half. I'm also going to do the same on the other side. This will give me the approximate size of the eyes and will help me gauge where they begin. So the eyes will start just underneath that middle line, and they're a bit like a lemon shape. Come over. There's that little curve in the corner and round. And the other side, come down a little bit. I'll move the camera closer so you can see that in detail. Come down a little bit. I'm going to do that corner bit first. And then back round like it's a lemon. And obviously try to make them the same size or similar sizes. And you can make that little mark inside. It's always good to look at perhaps a real eye or the reflection of your eye in the mirror to help you be more accurate. This point here where the eyes begin, if we bring that down, and I'm going to just draw a little dotted line, that gives us a guideline of where the nose will end. So we don't want a nose that comes wider than those dotted lines. So we just drew this dotted line and this dotted line coming either side, which will give us the width of the nose. But we now need to decipher, where does the nose end? So in between these two lines, mark a halfway mark. And the nose will end a little bit above that. So we'll begin with a curved V shape. Make it quite open. Curved V shape. And make sure the center of the V goes over this vertical line. At the end of the V, curve round a little bit for the nostrils. We're then going to do a sort of open C shape to show the end of the nose. This is a generic sort of nose shape so that you can really understand it in its simplest form. I'm going to rub off the guidelines now so that we have a kind of nose shape and we can sort of see what we've got. You can see that the end of the nose here stops at the dotted line that we made a little while ago. You can adapt the shape as you wish to make it more suitable for the nose that you're drawing. But this is a kind of generic nose to help you understand where it comes in the proportions of the face. Let's now work on the mouth. So earlier on I told you that this line or bottom of the circle is the center line of the mouth. We're going to go to the very middle where the vertical line crosses the circle. And we're going to do a small kind of bowl shape. It's like a little curved line like that. Above it, we're also going to do a curved line. And if you return to the first curved line you did and bring it along and under the circle to a little sort of point. Curve round along and under the circle to a little point. We can always adjust that shape later, but that's the sort of shape we want for now, because this is the center of the mouth. Go to the top little curved line you made. This is the top of the lips, and we're going to curve smoothly and gently round like a very little mountain and come down to meet the dot. And same on this side. Again, this is quite a generic mouth. You can adapt and change it once you understand the proportions of where it fits in the face. The bottom lip, we're going to go to the dot that we made, and you're going to just curve round from either side and then go to the middle and come down and curve the opposite way. This time it's like a little hill. Make sure that this bottom lip is wider than the top lip. And come gently round to meet each side. That gives you a generic mouth that of course you can adapt and change for the mouth that you're drawing. I'm going to rub off the guiding lines so again we can see what we've got and what's actually going on. The important thing to note about the mouth is that it's wider, it comes out wider than the nose. I can show you that with a ruler so you can really see what I mean. This is the dotted line where the nose ends, and you can see that the mouth is sticking out. Now that we've got the nose in, we can actually plot where the ears are going to be. So the first thing I'll do is draw a very light line that goes all the way across the face and lines up with pretty much the bottom of the nose. Now, the top of the ear lines up with this line that goes all the way across the face to the top of the eyelids. However, the ears begin a bit underneath. So you're going to begin a bit underneath, curve up, and round and down. I would by this stage rub the guiding circle out. So curve up, in and round for the earlobe. And this bottom of the earlobe also begins above that line. Now for the other side. Make sure you start at about the same point on the other side. Bring your line up. Curve round. Curve round, in. Curve in and down for the earlobe and back up a little bit. Then you can, of course, rub the guiding line out. Check for symmetry. Make sure that you haven't done one ear much bigger or wider than the other. Always important, because our faces tend to look mostly symmetrical, even if they're not. And that's the proportion of the ears. Before we go up to the eyes, it's quite nice to get neckline in. Now the neck is thinner than the jaw, but not quite as thin as this. So come round and in a bit, and you want to curve in like that. And the same on the other side. Come in and curve in like that. And what's good is you can see that there's a little kind of triangle shape made here, and you can try and manipulate those so that they look similar and that you're happy with how they look. Once you've done the neck, you can of course rub off those guiding lines again. But remember not to rub off the actual chin and jawline. Let's focus on the eyes now. So we've drawn our sort of lemon shape, and we've got this little corner aspect. How about the coloured bits in the eyes? The iris. Well, first thing to note is that it's not a circle all the way inside the eye. Some of the circle of the coloured bit of the eye is hidden. So you want to curve round from the top and imagine there's a little bit hidden above the eyelid. And similar thing on the other side. Curve round from the top, but imagine that the very top of that circle is hidden under the eyelid. You then need to draw the eyelid on. So you're going to follow the curve of the eye around, but above it. Don't start all the way at the end. Start in a bit. And follow the shape of the eye round to give the eyelid. And same on the other side. Start in a bit, follow the shape of the eye round, and adjust accordingly to make it symmetrical. There are 1,000,001 different hairstyles that people have these days. So I'm going to show you how high up you need to take the hair, but you will have your own individual hairstyle that you will want to do that matches whether you're doing a boy or a girl, a man or a woman, etc. The key thing is to make sure that you build the hairline shape around this oval, but bring the sides down in front of the ears. So I'm going to do that bit first. And I'm going to start by rubbing some of this off. Sometimes the hair covers the tops of the ears, and this might be something you want to do. I'm sort of keeping it more as an impression of hair to make life easier for myself. Now, this bit, I'm going to draw the main shape so it will sort of come up, because I'm going to do short hair on this person. So it'll come up sort of like this, and then above this hairline you need to sort of fill it that much more. So this, from the guiding line above the eye to your hairline up, that same distance. So it's going to come to about here. And that is the sort of height that your hair should take, whether you want to put a headscarf on, whether you want to have long hair that then drapes down. It must come up above the face that much more. That's really important, otherwise the head will just look too small. So there you have a tutorial about the proportions of the face, which I really hope you found useful, helpful, and a great starting point for learning where to place the different parts of the human face. Check out my other tutorials. There is more tutorials going to be coming up about proportions of the face and how to draw different features of the face in detail. But this gives you a great general overview. So do like and subscribe and look out for my other tutorials coming up.